Hi, everyone. My name is Marianne Paiva, and this is Sociology and MCGS 240. This is a cross-listed class between the departments of Multicultural and Gender Studies and Sociology. So this is essentially food injustice. And this is a completely online class, first of all. I've been teaching this class for 2 years, and I actually developed this class. It's never been taught in the classroom. And so I developed this class actually as an online class. And so I say that, I tell you that because I want you to be reassured that even though we are in a crazy time right now, this class is actually created for online learning. And I'm the one who created it. I'm the one who has been teaching it. I'm the only person who's been teaching it. I'm the one who created the class, the content of the class. Although I had some help with the idea of the class and kind of a little bit of the format. I'm the one who's been doing it. So this class was first taught in 2018, and so I've been teaching it a few years. Why do I say this? Because I know it is such a stressful time for people right now, and I want this to be one less class that you have to worry about, about how this is going to be in a virtual environment. So again, my name is Marianne Paiva. I'm a lecturer in the Department of Sociology. I'm just entering my 16th year of teaching here in sociology, and I teach full time. And I'm actually a graduate of Chico State. I got my bachelor's degree in sociology and my master's degree in social science here. And so I've been here for 23 years total, between the time I was a student and the time I've been teaching. And so that's who I am. I wanted to say welcome. That's why I'm saying hi to you today. Is I wanted to say welcome to this class, welcome to the new semester, welcome to the new academic year, and I hope you all had a restful break and that you all are doing okay. I know it's a scary time. I totally know that, and I want you to not have to worry about not being able to navigate this class. And so let me tell you a little bit about this class. So number one, this is one of those classes. So I grew up a farm girl. I grew up where we would go out and we would have tomatoes and we would have peaches and we would go shopping at my grandmother's house every week because my grandmother had this massive garden that was just crazy. She had so many tomato plants and corn. She had different types of peaches, probably 10 different types of peach trees. She had peppers. I mean, she had everything. And so we would go shopping at my grandmother's house every single weekend because we were fairly impoverished when I was a kid. We were definitely food insecure. And the only thing that kept us going was two things. Number one, my mom worked in a grocery store for 30 years. And so that helped a lot. But the thing that was year round all the time was we had gardens, and my grandmother had a huge garden, and she canned everything and froze everything or dehydrated everything. And so she had three huge, massive deep freezes. And so we would, in the summer and in the spring and fall, we would go out and pick in the garden and we would take that home, and that was food for the week. And then in the winter, we would go shopping in her freezers and bring home bags of peas and ears of frozen corn and everything like that. So I grew up on a farm. I come from a farm family. My whole family is still in farming, and I am. So this is who I am. I've always been fascinated by the idea of where our food comes from because I would literally, go out into our orchard. I grew up on an 80-acre almond ranch, or almond to some of you, but on an 80-acre almond ranch out in the middle of Glenn County in Orland, which is about 20 miles from here, from where I'm sitting right now in Chico. And we would literally watch, the food grow on trees. We had food everywhere around us. But I watched how the relationship of food, of access to food, of the quality of food, of how food was grown, was different for everyone, and that oftentimes determined what they could do, what the opportunities they had were. And so I became fascinated with this. And I started, kind of just asking these questions. How do people get food? How, if they're not getting it from their backyards, how are people getting food? How are they affording it? What kind of food are they able to afford? If they're impoverished, can they have, do they have different food access than if they are wealthy? How much food do we waste? Is there a difference based on socioeconomic status, class, and gender? All of these questions. And so in graduate school, I actually chose a graduate program where I could go and learn about agriculture from a sociological perspective. And so in my doctoral program at Kansas State University, I took the sociology of agriculture class and the sociology of rural communities, which was a lot about how we use land in different ways for agriculture or for industry. And I also took a class called Human Impact on the Environment. And it just blew me away, right? Someone who came from this background of agriculture and then looking at it through a different lens just was incredible. And then about 5 years ago, I started, oh no, it was about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I asked some students in one of my classes what they thought the most challenging thing would be for them in college. And I honestly was expecting meeting people or, finding a, significant other, roommate troubles, right? Things like that. And fully 10% of my class, and this is all in writing, fully 10% of my class said that the thing that they were worried about most was being able to have enough food to eat. And I said, what do you mean? Like this, we're in Chico. There's food everywhere. Literally, food grows on the side of the road in the trees, and there's food everywhere. And they said, yeah, but we don't have access to it. It started me going, whoa, what are we doing here? Right? We're sitting here with these students all the time, and we're working, and we're thinking, honestly, we have these stereotypes that those students are out partying or whatever it is. And in reality, these students are just worried about making, ends meet. They're worried about being able to find food. And so at that point, I started dabbling in this idea that there's something going on. We need to do something. And then about 5 years ago, I started working with some people on campus who were doing research about food insecurity on campus. And they were finding huge numbers of students who were food insecure. And I had seen food insecurity. I had grown up with food insecurity all of my life. And I had seen food insecurity in our communities, and it was just everywhere. I had seen people. I had been reliant on WIC when I was pregnant with my last child. I have friends who are reliant on SNAP benefits and CalFresh benefits, and so I've seen this. But to have my students and to see the data on it was really, really fascinating. So about 5 years ago, I started okay, what is going on here? And then about 4 years ago, I actually started doing the research myself. And we started finding out that, in the first study we did, 46% of students at Chico State reported that they were food insecure. And I was like, what? And then for my doctoral thesis in 2016, my doctoral dissertation actually in 2016, I did some research, and I was asking second generation Hmong students what some of the how they got in college, how they did so well. And over and over and over again, one of the things that they attributed their success to was that they had food security because of their parents, because their parents had backyard farms, and they provided food for them. And I was like, there's something going on here. And so this population who was fairly impoverished was not reporting food insecurity. And I was like, there's got to be something going on. So I've been for the past, 5 years really researching food insecurity among students. And then a couple years ago, 3 years ago, I was asked to help create this class. And I was like, yes, this is everything. And so I started working to help create this class. And then there came a point when I became the lead person on it. And then when they needed someone to teach the class, they said, we got to have you teach it. So I created the class, and I've been teaching it ever since. And I do food insecurity research all the time now in various ways. And my two passions now are really coming together, where I do food insecurity during natural disasters. And so I've been researching food insecurity and housing insecurity of campfire survivors since the campfire in 2018. And it's just been fascinating. And so it's a long way to say I love this class, and this class is part of me. This is not just a class that they assigned me because no one else could teach it. I'm the only one that teaches this class, and I love this class. And every single student that I encounter on campus, I ask them, do you have anything to eat? Do you need food? What do you need? Last year, my student Jessica Ramirez, who's a rock star, she came to me and she was really angry one day, and she said, Marianne, why is it that we have so much food waste happening in the residence halls? And yet, we have all of these students who have all of these meal swipes left over on their meal programs through the residence halls. And I said, well, she goes, why can't I donate these meals to students who are food insecure? Because 50% of our students on campus are food insecure. I said, yeah. I said, there's programs out there that we can do. We just don't have it here at Chico State. And she was so angry. She was so angry that she said, well, how do we change that? And I said, that's policy. And so I worked with Jessica. Actually, she did all the work, and I took the credit for it, honestly. I worked with Jessica, and we did research. She went out and did a survey. She figured out how many students were food insecure. She figured out what barriers students had to getting food on campus. And then she went to administration and she said, I want to start this program. And so Jessica is the student who started the Meal Swipe program here at Chico State last year. She's the one who pushed and pushed and pushed. And I'm so proud to say, I've been able to be there watching every single step as she does this. And so food insecurity, I feel like, is so food security is so important, right? When we're looking at Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it is the number one thing that we need is food, right? Water, yes. Food is the thing that we need. We cannot think about anything else if we are constantly in survival mode and trying to get food. And so this class is everything. It's our most basic need is food. And so I love this class because I literally get to see students every single day, and they talk, normal times, they talk about the struggles that they have for finding food security, the struggles that they go through because they're not food secure. And I see how it impacts them. I see how it delays graduation. I see, how it makes relationships more stressful. And then I see also that it's oftentimes not just based on socioeconomic status, but it's based on other factors as well, like race and ethnicity and gender. And so that's a really long way of saying that I hope you love this class as much as I love this class. Food insecurity is the great barrier, right, to being able to focus on what you need to do to make your life successful every single day. If you are food insecure, you're not going to be able to study. You're going to be foggy brained. You're going to be tired. If you're food insecure, your kids aren't going to be as healthy, right? If your household doesn't have enough food. If you're food insecure, you're not going to be able to go, oh, I want to go and do adventures. And so food insecurity is absolutely so important. And I hope you think it's as important after this class. This class is really cool. It's totally self-contained. I'm going to just run through really quickly. I do this in modules, weekly modules. Everything is ready for you right now. Like I said, I created this class. I update it every semester, but it's created. It's out there. This class pretty much stands alone every single week. So you're able to go through and find all the assignments, all the readings, all the quizzes that you need right now for the entire semester. Every once in a while, I will pop in. I'll do another lecture like this every once in a while and say, hey, I've got some that are already recorded from like the previous semesters, a couple of those. But other than that, it's out there. The class is there. Everything is there that you need to be successful in this class. I'm going to ask you to do some activities. The first one I'm going to ask you to do is a weekly budget. And everyone says to me, I have never done a budget before. Well, now you're going to do one for this class, okay? And you're going to do all sorts of activities. There are some topics in here that are a little bit sensitive because I'm going to ask you to call on your history of food security or food insecurity and see what that did for you, see how that impacted your life. We're going to talk about all different aspects of food security and insecurity. We're going to spend a couple weeks talking about housing insecurity. We'll spend 3 weeks talking about, 1 week talking about Native American populations, 1 week talking about Mexican American populations, and 1 week talking about Hmong Americans, which is my wheelhouse from my research that I did a few years ago. And so there's no big tests in this class. I do weekly reading quizzes because, right, I want you to be reading it every single week. There's activities. You can do week 10 tomorrow if you want to, or, do week 1. Just make sure that you have it done by the time the due date is there. The last thing I want is a bunch of assignments at the end of the semester. So get your due dates in, get the assignments in by the due dates, be done with them. But you can schedule your time right now and say, oh, I'm going to be gone for a week in November, not a problem. I'll get that work done this week, or I'll get it done before that is done. So you're welcome to turn in work early. I might not get to that work, get grading to that work immediately, but you're welcome to turn it in at any time. Check out the syllabus, check out the weekly modules, check out the calendar due dates, and that's where we're at. Again, I'm Marianne Paiva. Most of you are probably not sociology majors or MCGS majors. I don't know, we'll see. So I might not know you, but if I do, hey again, how's it going? Say hi to Darth Vader. He's weird. He won't go away. Anyway, he's my kids thought I needed a friend while I was on, calls all day long. Anyway, by the way, there is no live lecture for this class. It's all asynchronous, which means that I will record everything and then I'll push it out to you, and you can watch at any point you want to during the week. Most assignments will be due Friday at 11:59 p.m. Spell check. Hello, spell check. If I could tell you anything, wear sunscreen and spell check. Anyway, have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.